for your ration of rum.
Turn two for your ration of rum. Got to be kidding.
That's an old tradition whenever the yard launches a new boat. See those mugs they're using? Handed down from father to son through 5 generations of Yankee shipbuilders.
Oh, boy, all this jazz really flips you, doesn't it? And when it comes to that schooner...
Love at first sight.
Right.
I used to sail around Gloucester when I was a kid with my dad. Never run anything like her. She's too much, Mr. Adams.
Mr. Adams?
Good of you to come, Mother.
Where else would I be but here when you're going to launch the Prudence? My cane, O'Connor. Thank you. Oh, don't forget the champagne. Shame to waste it on a christening. It's a vintage year. Oh, she's a proud one, son. Trim and clean like the clippers your grandfather used to build.
With greater satisfaction, I'm afraid.
Even before her keel was laid, I warned you. She'd never lure Prudy back home.
I thought nothing could keep Prudy from being here to send her down the ways. She's wanted that schooner since she was that high. Why, Mother? Why? Is running around Europe that important? What's driving her? Why doesn't she come back here where she belongs?
Where she belongs and how she ultimately gets there is not for you and me, but for Prudy to decide. And being an Adams, she will. Come, let's get on to the business at hand.
This one belonged to my grandfather, Josiah Wharton, and this one to his brother Ezra. They're yours now, boys.
Thank you. Well, don't just stand there, lads. Now that you've officially joined this crew, drink up. Come on. Hey, there's Mrs. Adams.
Oh, Jed, I haven't seen you for a long time.
No, it
Very
has
good.
been a long.
Sure is nice to see you again.
Ah, thank you. And howdy. Well, where have you been keeping yourself?
Now, this is Charlie Brown here. He just started with us.
How do you do?
We missed you for a long time.
Excuse me.
Thank you very
Glad
much.
to see you back with us.
You're looking
Thank
very
you.
willing.
All of a sudden, I come from a long line of Yankees.
It just doesn't seem proper to launch her without Miss Prudy. We're ready whenever you say, Mr. Adams. Whenever Mr. Adams gives the word, Charlie. Give him a hand there, Jack.
I want him brought home.
Bring the bags to the next car, please. Welcome home, Miss Prudence.
Welcome home, Miss Prudence.
I'm sorry, Grandmother.
No, a standby reservation will not be satisfactory. I'm leaving for Rome tomorrow night, and if you can't confirm it now, I'll go over your head until I can find someone who can. The name is Adams, Prudence Adams. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That'll be fine, that'll be all, and thank you. Can't stand apologetic men.
They say traveling broadens one. I can't see that you've changed any.
I love you.
Scarcely enough to answer your needs. If you knew you were going right back to Europe, why did you bother to bring all these things?
What do you know about my needs, darling?
They've been dangling from your little private showcase since the day you were born. Oh, Prudy, Prudy.
Don't look at me like that, Grandmother. You're the last person in the world I ever want to make unhappy.
Not unhappy, just sad.
I know it's going to be lonely for you now that Father's gone. Of course, you're coming to Rome with me for a while.
The while I have left, I'm staying here.
Oh, Grandmother.
And don't mistake that as a bid for sentimentality. I'm quite as accustomed to loneliness as you are. And assuming that you're interested, I'm going to tell you why I'm sad. Do you want to hear? It's the thought that you will be here alone the next time you come back.
Don't say that.
Nevertheless, that's the way it's going to be. And by that time, you'll have run out of places to hide from responsibility. What then, Prudy? A phone call to Cape Canaveral? A reservation for a trip to the moon? The name is Adams, Prudence Adams. Mm-hmm, that'll be all. That'll be fine. And thank you. I can't stand apologetic women.
I have nothing to apologize for.
For one thing, you're not married.
So what? What is marriage supposed to be? The miracle, the Mecca that makes a woman complete, contented, happy?
It's supposed to be.
Were you happy with Grandfather?
I picked him.
You didn't answer my question.
Oh, yes, I did, in my own fashion.
All right, I'll start over again. Was he happy with you?
For 2 centuries, the Adams women have been plagued by that question. You didn't think you were the only one, did you?
The only thing I want in the whole world is for somebody to love me. Not the money, not the status, not the name, just me.
Lawyer Slocum is waiting in the library.
I'll be right down. You coming, Grandmother?
As the executor of your father's estate, the president of the First National Bank of Boston will go over your portfolio of stocks and bonds. He also wished me to tell you that at the next board meeting, your election as a trustee, traditional with the Adams family, is merely a matter of course.
She'll make a very stylish addition, don't you think so, Georgie?
Indeed. There's one thing more, the shipyard.
We don't have to discuss that now, do we?
Oh, I'm afraid we must, Prudence. The yard's been losing money for years. Until recently, we've been able to absorb it tax-wise. But the way things are going in Washington these days, well, let's just say the picture has changed.
Washington may change. The yard won't. For generations, the men have depended on an Adams. They deserve our loyalty.
Nevertheless, it is the opinion of my father, my 2 brothers, and myself that you ought to sell the yard.
If your father, your 2 brothers, and you think we ought to sell, fine, George, go ahead and sell it.
Oh, I'm so glad you think so.
Thanks so much for coming over.
Oh?
And be sure and remember me to all the Slocums.
Goodbye. Prudence?
If that's an example of Boston's eligible bachelors, all I can say is arrivederci, au revoir, and I'll take vanilla. Oh, Grandmother, do you realize if we leave tomorrow, we can be in Rome in 7 hours?
If you leave now, you can be at the shipyard and back before dinner.
I never want to see that shipyard again.
You grew up there. The men are expecting you. You're not going to disappoint them. You're going to talk to one and all of them.
I will not.
And what's more, you're going to thank those 2 who tried to save your father's life. After that, if you want to run off to Rome, good luck. And God bless you.
I'm not finished yet.
My dad's too shy to kiss you. I'm not.
Now, Jack, I happen to know you've been married for 6 months.
A man can't wait forever. Thanks for coming back.
How are you, Jimmy? How's that lovely daughter of yours? You letting her wear lipstick yet?
Guess so, Miss Prudy. She went and got herself engaged, so I figure if she can handle one, she can handle the other.
But she was just a child when I left.
Well, that was then, ain't now.
Oh. How are you, Ma?
Welcome home, Miss Prudy.
Thank you. How's Ella?
Couldn't be better, Miss Prudy.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
I see, Miss Prudy.
Look at that beard. That lovely beard.
Isn't that something?
All the way home, I kept saying to myself, if only I hadn't sent that cable. If only I'd come home, it never would have happened.
Nobody was to blame, Miss Prudy.
I thought I'd hate the sight of her, but she's too beautiful.
All of us hoped you'd feel that way.
Who are those two men aboard her? Are they the ones who tried to help my father?
Todd Stiles on the mainmast, Buzz Murdoch on deck. If you'd like to talk to him, I'll run you out.
Don't bother, Jed.
What do you know? A French mermaid.
Vive la France.
Joke's over. Got anything to drink on board?
Gaston, see what the lady would like. An aperitif, cassis, vermouth, Pernod.
Oh.
You don't dig this chick, Alphonse. I'd say a double whiskey, straight, with a beer chaser, right?
While you two are figuring out my alcoholic psyche, I'm freezing to death.
She swims, she thinks, she's beautiful. You know, we just happen to have a bottle of champagne on board. That is, if you don't mind it at room temperature.
I've seen ship workers, but you two.
Very special. He's a genius with boats.
And you?
Talented.
So where's the champagne?
It waits below deck.
I'm not ready to choose up sides yet. Don't think it hasn't been charming.
Hey, well, wait a minute. What's your name? Your name? Where do you come from?
How do we get there?
How do I get there?
That's what you think. Talk about ships that pass in the night.
That's the swingingest destroyer you will ever meet up with, Admiral.
Stiles? Mr. Murdoch?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I was told not to bother to wait for an answer, sir.
Count me out. I've got a treasure hunt date tonight.
No, you don't.
Look, you're always very big on the amenities bit. You go.
We'll both go.
Invitation for us to have dinner with Miss Adams and her grandmother tonight.
Well, that's Miss Prudy for you. You two must make quite a hit with her this afternoon.
Can't hunt treasure without a treasure map, I always say.
Be it ever so humble, there's no place like.
Like they say, the rich get.
You can be bitter if you want to. I'm not going to hold the poor girl's money against her.
As the Commodore once said to Brother Gridley, fire away when ready. Daddy-o.
I'm ready, Commodore. You know, you and Grandmother are going to make a lovely couple.
Sure.
You know what they say, all's fair in...
Good evening, gentlemen.
My husband hated posing for that portrait, almost as much as he hated that suit he's wearing. When he died, we found a codicil added to his will, specifying that I bury him in dungarees.
Did you?
Please forgive me.
A simple dinner party, she said. Don't dress.
Serves you right for taking me literally. Besides, you should know better.
Then I don't care.
Hello, Buzz. You're not drinking?
No.
Dinner is served.
Young man, are you going to start telling me about yourself, or I got to drag it out?
Love it. Did anybody ever tell you you weren't a living doll?
Never.
Buzz, will you say grace?
We, the people, thank thee, O Lord, for that which we are about to receive.
Amen.
Amen.
No? Mr. Stiles.
It's lovely Chablis.
Yes, 37 was a wonderful year.
Oh, something else you would prefer?
Beer, if you have it.
Charles?
Any brand.
Rothschild, isn't it?
Give the man a silver dollar. More beer.
By all means, it was a good year for hops, too.
No, please let me finish. Grandmother told me how you both tried to save my father. I just want you to know I'm very grateful. I thank you with all my heart.
Well, if you'll excuse me, please. It's long past my bedtime.
I'm sure you'll excuse me, too, even though it's nowhere near my bedtime. Thanks for a lovely evening. Good night, Gridley.
Good night, Commodore.
Here's to you.
Thank you.
Hey, where's Tod?
Oh, he's not much on beer.
Did you have a nice time up at Prudy's?
Yeah.
She say anything about the schooner?
She wasn't talking schooners tonight.
If I know her, she'll be champing to take that Prudence out on a shakedown run as soon as we finish working with her.
She really digs sails, huh?
You're a powerboat man, Buzz. Off the river. You don't know how it smooths out the insides to hold a sailboat on a long starboard reach across the Cape. Or to run with the wind with a bone in your teeth. See that quiet water just boiling underneath your bow. Miss Prudy does. She's an Adams, you know. You can't keep an Adams from trimming a sail or starting on a new keel. Been in the blood for 200 years.
Well, as must come to all evenings.
How about a good night cigarette? You really love it here, don't you?
First, I thought it was just nostalgia. Memories of things. But now I know it's something else.
What do you want, Tom?
I don't know. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow all rolled up into one.
Why don't you stay here?
Why don't you stay here?
Haven't you heard about me? I'm not just on the town, I'm on the world.
Yeah, I forgot I was talking to the Empress of the Smart Set.
That's me. Well-born, well-heeled, well-dressed. Well...
Well, what? So scared she can't think of what to say next? Welcome aboard.
Thank you, Skipper.
Handles like a dream.
Hold her steady past the outer harbor, then head northeast at the 3-mile limit.
Right. Tod, Buz, lay it on!
Now I know why there was a mutiny on the Bounty.
Let's go. You heard the skipper.
Aye, aye, Mr. Christian.
It's great, isn't it?
Sure, for those who know sailing.
Tod, want to take a turn at the wheel?
Can't wait.
And don't think Captain Bligh doesn't know it.
Can I help it if the best man won?
She's all yours, buddy. You just keep swinging with her and you'll end up lashed to the mast.
The war's over. Why don't you cease firing?
And the meek shall inherit the earth.
I've just been thinking, no shakedown cruise is complete without a celebration. How about dinner? Black tie, very posh. You think Buzz would come?
I wouldn't count on Buzz.
Yeah, I'll take over.
You already have.
You happy?
What do you think? I feel, I feel, I feel. Devon.
I haven't worn one of these since...
You never look lovelier. What comes next? Tails? I used to have a set of those, too. You're sure you know what you're doing, right? What do you think? Rich, spoiled, iron-willed, with our own supply of nuclear energy built in, and kooky enough to set off the detonator when you least expect it. You think you can cope with all that?
All the way.
Like they say in Lower Basin Street, go, man, go. But while you're making beautiful music together, remember, you can't play a duet with a virtuoso.
Nice party, nice people.
We liked you, too.
Well, I guess it's time for Joe Cinderella to borrow your streamlined pumpkin and head back to reality.
Don't go yet. Father built this for me when I was a little girl.
The Empress's castle?
Please don't call me Empress anymore. Don't leave me. Don't ever leave me again. I've waited for so long. I thought I'd never find you.
Follow me, will you? I want to drop the car off at Prudy's. Wait a minute. I want to tell you something.
Shoot.
Remember last night you asked me if I thought I could cope with it?
Yeah?
I'm going to marry the girl.
I believe so. She hasn't run from the tray.
Party must have gone on till all hours.
Just past midnight. The Countess and her husband were the last to leave, except for Mr. Todd.
Oh. Fix a tray. Black coffee and a Bloody Mary.
Morning, darling.
Good afternoon.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Just curious. Too content to have had a fight. Too relaxed for a hangover. It's the Prudy Adams triumph face. What did you win last night?
Oh, my darling. I thought he would never ask me.
You mean Todd?
Now, don't tell me you didn't know. Oh, it's going to be wonderful for him. Buying his clothes in London, Europe for a honeymoon. You should have seen him at the party last night. He was an absolute smash. Jabbered all night long in French with the Countess. And then the Copelands knew his parents. They went abroad every summer. And he and Tommy Best, it was like old home week. They went to Hotchkiss. It couldn't have turned out better if I'd planned it myself.
Just keep on talking and you'll convince yourself that you didn't.
Now, don't start fretting. It's what you've always wanted, and you know it, you old crow. And this time, it's absolutely, perfectly right. It's 11:30. I've got to fly. Going into Boston for a few days. Well, I've got a million things to do. First off, I'm going to ask Georgie Slocum to put Todd up for Father's Club. I don't think the other memberships matter. If he wants to sail or play golf, he can use mine. And I'm going to redo the entire second floor. Turn the sewing room into a den for Todd. And, darling, I'll tell you everything else I want to do when I come back.
Including what Todd wants to do?
He'll love every minute.
Oh, Prudy. Prudy.
I figure with prefabrications on small boats, we should be able to double the yard's income.
The men are all for it. As a matter of fact, Charlie Grimes and some of the others have already started blocking out plans for an assembly line.
Oh, that's great. But tell them I'm still a sailing man and we're still going to build them from sabots to schooners. I had an idea. I haven't mentioned it to Prudy yet. I thought we might enter her boat in the Bermuda race. Be a good chance to show her off to potential customers, as well as an ideal way to spend our honeymoon.
I told the men that you were shrewd enough to be an honorary Yankee. With you running this yard, we'll keep on building them for the next 100 years.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know you were still busy.
That's all right. I was just leaving. I don't have to tell you how pleased and confident we all are.
Sit down, relax.
Why don't you try her for size?
Roomy.
Room enough for both of you?
Marcus of Queensberry rules forbid the use of brass knuckles, knives...
Just a Freudian slip.
According to my history book, the armistice was signed a long time ago.
Well, you know how it is with us cotton-picking enlisted men. We're always the last to find out.
You know, it's pretty tough to get me mad, but Prudy's met you more than halfway. Why don't you give her a break?
She doesn't need it. You do.
Oh?
Forget it.
No, I don't want to forget it. I want amplification. Fuller development of what's bugging you about Prudy.
The ring in your nose. That's what I see in your future, buddy. A closet full of two-pants suits. And she's wearing both pants.
That's the way you see it?
That's the way it is.
Look, just for the record, nobody's going to make me conform.
Okay.
Okay. Now, how about a lobster down on the wharf tonight?
With champagne? That's traditional with farewell dinners, isn't it?
Now, hear this and hear it good. You're staying for the wedding, and when the honeymoon is over, you and I are going to turn this yard into the best shipbuilding setup on the eastern seaboard.
I'll meet you halfway. I'll go for that best man bit, if you provide the monkey suit. But as far as sticking around, not a chance.
No, Buzz, wait a minute.
Look, you just keep track of me on the open road, and I'll keep track of you on the society page. Okay? And what do you say we get to work on that lobster?
I know you love that old sports jacket of yours, darling, but you can't wear it night after night.
Isn't this a bit much?
If the sizes are wrong, you can exchange them when we go to Boston tomorrow.
Oh, no. Jed and I are checking the prefab process tomorrow.
Oh, darling, that's impossible. There are a whole slew of papers to sign at the bank. Joint account, vault keys, and Georgie Slocum's arranging for your passport renewal.
Passport renewal?
You can't leave the country without one, silly. Now, unless you insist upon a church wedding, we can get married any time and leave for Europe. The airlines are holding reservations every day starting tomorrow, and wait till you see the villa I bought.
Wait a minute. I mean, I know we're living in the jet age, but will you slow down a minute?
It's too late. We're in orbit.
Unless you two can prove you're married, the management frowns on this sort of thing. I didn't mean to interrupt, but Jed's got the men together outside. They're waiting.
Waiting for what?
I have to talk to them, darling.
Oh, Miss Prudy, how you over here? Not much on making speeches, so I won't make any. Just an engagement present. Skipper, from your crew. And yours, Tod.
Unlike Jed, I'm always making speeches. And this one, I guess, will be a kind of farewell address. In the past few days, I've made many decisions, starting with Mr. Stiles and ending with my attorneys. For a variety of reasons, none of which you need be concerned with, I've decided to take their advice and close the yard. And I know that comes as a shock to most of you, but you'll all be protected by a permanent pension fund, which will enable you to live comfortably for the rest of your lives. Mr. Slocum will be here tomorrow to explain the details. I guess that's it. I love your present, your sentiment, your loyalty, and I wish you all the best. God bless.
Love your sentiment, your loyalty, and God bless. Thus spoke the Empress Prudence.
Darling.
Why? Why did you do it?
I never knew the yard was that important to you.
Never mind me. What about you?
I had no choice.
After 2 centuries of men sweating to make the name Adams shine, you had no choice?
Everything outlives its usefulness.
Your father didn't think so.
My father was a child when it came to money. Even with this yard losing a fortune, the taxes are enormous. Next year they'll be worse. We simply can't afford it. That's why the pension plan was created. It's a beautiful write-off.
Kiss off would be a better word.
Once the men understand it, they'll be delighted.
And you and I love happily ever after, is that it?
So the saying goes.
Prudy, Prudy.
Don't keep repeating my name like that.
Why not if it'll help me get through to you? Prudy, don't you want this shipyard to get back on its feet? Don't you care what Jed and the others think or feel? Darling, I've told you, Jed and I have got great plans for the yard. If you'll believe in me, I'll work 27 hours a day to make them come true.
What are you trying to prove? That a woman can't make a business decision? That this is a man's world? Or are you just trying to say that Tod Stiles is one of those noble young men who'll labor all day to justify the fact that he married a millionairess? Well, I couldn't stand that. Stay as naive as you are. It's part of your charm, but don't tell me how to live.
And I was so sure. Well, on with the show. Step right up, lovely lady. For your entertainment and amusement, I give you Tod Stiles, the boy with the big dream, the hope, the crazy cockeyed notion that you and I could make it together. You're right, Prudy. I have been naive, but it's not part of my charm. Buzz said it. She'll lash you to the mast. Oh, no, I said, this is love. 4 main and mizzen masts. We're on them together, Prudy and I. He said she's an international kook that can swing in 6 languages. I said, oh, no, Buzz, you're wrong. She's just restless, searching for herself, and she found it in me. You should have heard the arguments, Prudy, for the defense. They were brilliant. Just as brilliant as they turned out to be wrong. No, Empress, I'm not going to tell you how to live. And you're not going to tell me ever again.
I love you.
That's not enough. I need more than you're willing to give. And you take too much of what a man has to keep. Happy landings, Empress.
Jed?
Yes, Miss Prudy?
You were counting on him, weren't you? To keep the yard going?
I guess we were.
Well, you shouldn't have done that. You should know better than to count on a stranger. What did you know about him anyway? He was just a young man passing through. If it meant so much to you, why didn't you ask me? I'm the Adams around here. Well, I'll think about it. Do you hear me, Jed? I said I'll think about it. I'll let you know what I decide to do about this yard. I'll send you a cable. I'll send you a cable from France or Italy.
We won't be needing you.
You Mr. Murdoch?
Here. Thanks for your trouble.
I get 20 troubles a day like this. I'm out of trouble.
Hey! You can start loading your stuff in the car. Give me 5 minutes to get my bags down.
Wait a minute. Are you sure?
You know me. When I burn a bridge, even the river disappears.
Well, I'm sorry, Todd, but then again, I'm not sorry. You know?
Yeah. Maybe some other time in some other town, some night we'll talk about it.
5 minutes.
This has been a Screen Gems film presentation from Columbia Pictures. Herbert B. Leonard, executive producer.